Hi, this is Tony Hernandez Pumorejo, your purpose-driven life coach, motivational speaker, consultant, writer, author, and an advocate for families and individuals impacted by autism, mental health, and other disabilities. I'm thankful for you to tune in to this new video. Hopefully, I can make your time worthwhile. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel right down below so that way you can keep updated with any upcoming new content. And more important than that, you can support me, because without you, without your support, this channel doesn't even exist and I'm not able to do my work. So please subscribe. And if you're interested in learning more about my services, and maybe I can potentially work with you as your life coach, please visit my website, tonyhernandezpumarejo.com, tonyhernandezpumarejo.com. And I'll be looking forward to connect with you should you be interested in going to the next level and achieve your purpose. In this video, I'm going to do, it may be like a simple question, but in reality, it is important for me to do this video because by doing this video, I can better assist you or help you in this process. And the question that I have is why you should invest in me as your life coach. Why you should invest in me as your life coach. That may sound like a weird question that I'm doing, but stay with me, because you're gonna learn the reason why I'm asking that question, and hopefully, this can be a great help for you in your decision. That if you're looking for a life coach, or even if you're not looking for a life coach, you might consider looking for one. I can help you with your decision. So, if you want to learn more, stay tuned. And as I said, I'm going to ask the question again: why you should invest in me as a life coach? Why you should invest or listen to me, Tony Hernandez Pumorejo? You might be wondering that question, or maybe you have received services or support from a life coach before, or maybe you have not considered looking for or working with a life coach before. Maybe you have an idea in regards to what life coaching is and what is, and maybe you're not sure if this is something that can be helpful for you. Or maybe, like very common, you see in social media, especially here on YouTube, different life coaches, right? There's so many coaches out there. There's life coaches, there's health coaches, holistic coaches, wellness coaches, financial coaches, business coach. There's a coaches for everything these days, and there's so many life coaches overall. And me, you may wondering, okay, why I should invest in you? What makes you different than the other coaches that I see on my social media feed, YouTube, or anywhere else, in fact? Well, I cannot speak for the other coaches. Each person that is a coach has their own process and their own journey. And there's different coaches. There's coaches that focuses on specific areas like health, wellness, financial, education, personal development. And again, each person, each coach have their own process. I can only speak for me and my process and my preparation, and this hopefully can be helpful for you in terms of making that decision. Should in regards to working with a life coach. So as I mentioned in other videos, what got inspired me to become a life coach is that I wanted to put all my experiences, not only my professional or working experience, but more important, my life story. I wanted to put it all into one role, which is a coach. And as I mentioned in other videos, if you haven't watched my new beginning video, I invite you to watch that video. Um, I felt like I have been a coach for years because of the work that I have done throughout the years. Being an advocate for families and individuals with autism, impacted by mental health, and other special needs or disabilities, or you can call it neurodiversity. The terms, there are different terms today in regards to that, which I'm not going to get into. But there's realities, people with special needs or disabilities. And being an advocate and working with these families have taught me so many life lessons. And I still work as part of my profession, still works with these families up to this day. As I said, working with individuals and families that live autism, they're impacted by mental health or any other disability or special needs, it's my purpose, it's my call, it's the purpose that God gave me towards making that difference in the lives of others. But today I want to, expand that, because I don't want to be like limited just to autism and mental health, with all due respect. I have gone through different experiences in both my personal and my working career, personal life and working career, that I know that there's somebody out there, no matter who they are and where they come from, and they're struggling, or they're looking to go to the next level, or perhaps they're looking for new perspectives of things and to help them in their lives, then perhaps, I can help in that process. And that's the reason why, last year I got serious in terms of getting a certification as a coach, through the international school that I went through, I went to in Europe, because I wanted to get a profession. As you know, there's coaches out there that don't have a certification, and some that do have a certification, or don't have a certification. Let me correct that. And because coaching, as I mentioned, is not a regulated industry, so there's not like a specific, rules that applies for everyone. There's different, entities and agencies that have a reputation in coaching, but the reality is that coaching is an unregulated industry. So I wanted to get a certification first for ethics, because if I want to provide this service as a coach, I want to have a certification. I want to have a preparation in order to better help and serve my clients or my potential clients. That's the reason why I got a certification. And this is an ongoing process. It doesn't mean that once I'm finished my certification, my educational process have ended. No. As part of this process, I'm looking for, right now I'm in the process of potentially continuing my studies in regards to coaching. Through the school that I got, in which I took courses with back last year. So because, further education, further preparation will be beneficial for me, and more important, will be beneficial for my clients, because I will have more experience. And again, adding that to both my personal life and also my professional life, I can bring tools and perspective to help others in their process. So my focus, and the reason why I go by purpose-driven coach, is because, as a coach, I'm simply, don't want, it's not only about, helping and guiding my potential clients in regards to accomplishing a goal or solving this situation. It's not simply about that, but it's about more than that. And that's what I want to accomplish with my clients in this process. I want my clients to fulfill or to unlock their potential, because right now, a lot of times in society, it can be very confusing in terms of limitations. People can say different things or negative things, whatever it is. So my focus is to give the tools and the resources, and to guide my client in their process. It is their process, not my process. As a coach, I do only 20% or 30% of the talking. It is the 70% that my client does the talking. So it is up to my client to put his or her effort in applying the tools that I'm sharing with, so it can help in their process, and not simply, achieve a goal. Or let's say they want to make more money, or they want to improve their relationship with their loved one, when it is a marriage, or sentimental relationship, or a relationship with their children, family, friends, or they want to improve their performance at work. It's not simply about that. Or even if, not to go away from the areas of autism, it's not simply about getting the tools for families to help their loved ones with a special need, or a person that has a special need, him or herself, just simply get tools to get a better life. That's not my focus as a purpose-driven life coach is not simply just tools and supports. My purpose as a purpose-driven life coach is for each of my clients to have a different perspective of things in life and to realize their potential. Because a lot of times, and it happens with me as well, and I include myself because I've been there, a lot of times we undersell or let me get to the correct word. A lot of times we underestimate our potential. A lot of times we put limits that we follow through by society, saying that we cannot do this is the way it is, this is the way that things are, and that this is the things that will ever always will be. I want my clients to reflect, to learn, to educate, and use the tools and the experiences that they gather from my coaching sessions to help them in their process. That's my priority as a coach, to listen, to understand them, to ask, the right questions that will help them in their journey. It's not up to me to put a solution for my clients. Absolutely not. It's for my clients to come up with the solution, but not simply just to come up with the solution to their problem or if they're achieving a goal. But more important than that is that if they were able to learn something and have a perspective in life, or to grow, to educate, to develop. That's my focus as a purpose-driven life coach, because no matter who you are, where you come from, each of us have a purpose in this world, a purpose that our God, our Creator gave us. Whether I believe, I'm I'm a person of faith, God, first and foremost. But if you don't believe in God, then whatever you believe, there's something higher that gave you purpose to be here. And you may have gone through so many situations in your life, but if you're watching me here right now, that means that you're here for a reason. And trust me, I've been in where you have been in regards to struggling finding my purpose, struggling in seeing, okay, why am I here? Why am I here? And I'm a person of faith. Why am I here, Lord? What is your purpose for me here? It's been a struggle, and I've gone through very tough situations of rejection. I have tried different things in business, in my work, in my job, in life. And I have, I've gone through a lot of struggles, and I have failed different times. So I have been there. But it doesn't mean that just because you went through this process doesn't mean, and you ended or you didn't accomplish your goal, doesn't mean that your life is over. It means that you start again. You start anew. And what I want to do what I do as a purpose-driven life coach is to bring that experience alongside my preparation and certification, so I can bring a different perspective of life. As I mentioned, in the beginning, there's different coaches. There's different coaches, and I respect the work of different coaches, especially my mentor, who is also a certified life coach. But there's a difference. There may be different thousands, millions of life coaches out there. But each life coach is different because they're not the same person. There's only one Tony Hernandez Pumarejo. There's only one only one John, only one Katie, only one person. So what I'm trying to say is that each coach has their own stories, their own process, their own experiences. It won't be exactly the same. You may have two people, for example, they may do health and wellness coach, but they're not exactly the same because they have different preparation and experience. And you have high famous, coaches, they have their own process and experiences. I can only speak for myself and the work that I have done and how I want to put all the work, and I'm putting all the work that I have done right now as a coach to just help others and achieve their purpose in life. I believe everyone has a true potential in them, and it's up to me to help them in their process. Even if they're able to learn one thing, just one thing from my coaching sessions or the content that I do, on YouTube, on social media, on my website, on my blog, then I'm doing my job as a coach and fulfilling the purpose that I feel that my creator gave me. And that's what I think sets me different, me, if speaking for myself as a coach, as a purpose-driven life coach. Hopefully, this video can be helpful for you. So again, I want to ask you a couple questions before we go. Have you used a life coach before? Yes or no? If no, have you considered using a life coach? And if yes, how was your experience as a life coach? If you have an answer to those questions, please write down in the comment below, and I'll be more than happy to read those comments. And if you'd like to learn more about my work, please visit my website, tonyhernandezpumarjo.com, and also subscribe to my channel so that way you can keep updated with the latest content. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to this video. And until next time, this has been Tony Hernandez Pumarjo. Blessings.